everybody, how's it going? I hope you're doing good. I miss you all very much. I'm going to be popping on here tomorrow to do some Father's Day books for you. Let me pause it. I will show you which ones we're doing. I'm back. We are doing Bernstein Bears and the Papa's Day Surprise. I love the Bernstein Bears. And Adventures with My Daddies. I wanted to give a book to my LGBTQ. Yeah, I saw this in the library and I was like, yes! So, yeah, I'm really excited about this one. I hope to see more library books like that in the future about all kinds of stuff. So look forward to those. If you have kids or if you're a teacher, they will be up Tuesday evening, so Wednesday for your class or for your kids. Or you can watch them on Father's Day if you want. As far as Father's Day, I'm supposed to go to camp. It's like an hour, 2 hours from here. I might just go for a little bit, but I have 5 baby kittens that are now active. As you can tell, well, you can't really tell, you can't see the floor, but everything that they can get into is up because I got one of those kiddie pools and now they can get out of it. So, life is chaos. They are 4 weeks old. They are adorable little fur balls. I got a home for 2 of them. Mine, the black one that's staying with me, and I believe my sister is taking the gray one. I'm hoping to talk Lauren into taking one. Then I got 2 more. I'm hoping the little twins, they actually are twins. They came out in the same sack. They look almost identical. One's just slightly littler than the other, and one has more white on the face, and that's how I can tell them apart. But they literally are twins. Like they were in there together. It's so cute. Anyway, so I'm a little bit, focused on the cats. I gotta get these cats homes, and I have a full-time job. Like, I do this because I love it. This is my love, and I would love to do this full-time, but it's just not my reality right now. However, I have very good news. I've been going on and on a few times about my job, and it just got worse since I've talked to you all. I don't want to talk bad about my job because it's not a horrible job. I really do appreciate this job. Without this job, I wouldn't have made it this far. It came at a point in my life when I didn't have much. I had lost everything, and I had all these things that I needed to do. Like, I needed a car, I needed a place, this job helped me establish again, for the millionth time in my life, my independence. 'Cause it just happens. The tower moments come and you gotta rebuild your life, and that's exactly where I was. And I was very broken when I started this job, and I let this place eat at me because I was very, I wouldn't say weak, but mentally down and out. This place has seen me go through a lot. I feel like I always had something. Like, that's not the reality of my life, but these last 2 years have just been a somersault of, like, really treacherous and really heavy shit. Like, one right after the other. Not just world stuff, just stuff within my life, my health, and my family. Massive deaths that had nothing to do with COVID, by the way. None of these deaths, nobody died from COVID. Thankfully. You know what I mean? Like, you have all these people like, yeah, the last 2 years have been hard. A lot of people are dying. Like, no. Like, in my actual immediate family, like, we're dropping like flies. That's how I feel. So, losing my grandma was like losing my roots. I'm an earth sign. Pretend you were a tree, a big oak tree that grew over, 50, 7,500 years. And all of a sudden, a big tornado or a lightning storm comes and just takes that tree out, and that tree's just no longer there. Like, my roots got ripped, and I just think that was the beginning of the tower fall, because right after that, found out about the ex stuff, losing the baby. It's just like beat up. So starting this job, it was a great release. I really threw myself into learning and threw myself into being excited about this job, and I really ignored a lot of the red flags, a lot of the signs that told me, uh-oh. You know, because really on day one, I had a lot of uh-oh, red flags, uh-oh. You know, it's just never a good thing, like, when you're being trained and people, like, talk shit about the other people on your first day. That's awkward for the person, but that should tell you the climate you are entering, and I didn't pay attention. I had clear and definite signifiers on day one, and I just kept making excuses because I didn't want to have to go back out there and put out applications and go through the interview and, you know, start something new and be the new kid again. Like, I got into a little bit of a comfort zone and I didn't want to get out, and I let that ride, and I let these people take me away from my character. I'm a happy, go-lucky, bubbly-ass person, and that place was changing my character like my past relationship changed my character. And if I'm not going to allow a man to change my character, I'm certainly not going to allow a job to change my character either. If COVID taught me anything, it's I can rebuild my life a million times over. I can find a job like that. It doesn't matter about the job to me anymore. I have really had to let go of career and what a career looks like, because the world was like a snow globe. We got shook up. My career doesn't exist anymore. It just isn't there. And that is so true for so many of us out there. So I really don't think we need to look at what we do as the end-all be-all of our lives. Because COVID told us a very different story, didn't it? It told us that in the end, all you really have is the people around you when shit hits the fan. The people you can count on are your neighbors, your family, your friends, your coworkers, and your job. Right? And your city and town that you live in. Yes, you know, you got to worry about country stuff and world stuff, and, you know. But for the most part, your initial surroundings, that's all you're going to have when the world goes poof, if you even have that. You know what I mean? So I really am looking at life a lot differently. I don't want to be miserable every day going to my job. And I kept going to, like, even today, I was so happy. You know, and just the more I smiled in there, just, I think it's because I'm really paying attention to those red flags. I've seen them. I've acknowledged them. I'm actively working my way out of them, so I'm seeing them clearly. The more I smiled, and the more happier I was, and the more I thought I was doing good, because I really think I did good today. I knocked it out of the freaking park. But the more people felt that way about me, or the more they saw me being in a good place, the more they kicked. And I just, like, that's going to happen to me through my whole life because I am a healer. And if you are a spiritual person out there, you're gonna pull those people. Broken people see something in people who are healers because they want to be healed. That's your gift. The spirits give you a gift that people who are hurting, people who are broken, who are lost, and these people aren't always good people. They're naturally pushed to you, even when they don't want to be. So that's where you get into the, you know, when you get the creeper stalkers, and it can go either way. It's scary, but at the same time, like, I'm always going to have people coming at me hard, and not even them knowing why they're coming at me hard, or why they hate me so much, or why I just seem to rub them the wrong way, or why I'm annoying, or why, like, because I'm not doing anything but being myself and being happy, and that burns their ass, because that's the check. That's like when you're driving a car, it's like the check engine light coming on, like, something's wrong here. And are they going to keep driving and ignoring that light because their car is technically still working, or are they going to take it to the shop and be like, hey, I got a warning, you know, what are we going to do here? And most people just continue to drive the car. You know what I mean? So if you didn't get that, I'm sorry. So anyway, I went and took a drug test at work or not at work, for another job, and as long as I passed it, which I know I did, I will be starting there soon. I'm just waiting for the confirmation. They're doing my background check. I did the drug test, the initial paperwork. I gotta do the payroll stuff, and so, and like, technically I have the job, but for any reason, if any of those background checks, or they can't say, hey, you got the job 100%, because that stuff hasn't come in, but I got the job because I know that my background check is good and I know my drug test is good. So I did get my start date if this all goes, but I'm not going to say anything to my job until I know it, like all the stuff's in and I get that 100% confirmed, and I have enough time to do that to still give them 2 weeks. But I'm celebrating in here because I got a new job today. Yes, I did. This is why I'm proud, because so many jobs that I've had, I have a big work history, but my work history isn't like every job I've ever had. I've always been there for 2 years. You know what I mean? Like, I've never quit anything before 2 years. And I haven't even been at this job well, I can't say that, because the job before that, I was only there for a year, but I didn't quit. COVID canceled me. So I don't really feel like that counts, because I didn't quit. I'd still be working there if COVID never happened. So I don't count that one. But technically, yes, that was under a year. Or under 2 years, 1 year in. I'm not even a full year, and I'm already moving on. But it's because I noticed those signs, and I'm not okay with being miserable, and I'm not okay with just working a job to pay my bills. Like, yes, I need to pay my bills. That's very important. That's why I didn't just up and quit and say, fuck it, I will figure it out. I did the right thing. I put feelers out there, and it worked out for me. And luckily this job isn't starting for a while anyway, so I can do things the right way and give my job the appropriate work notice and wait till I know that I have the job. Like, I don't want to shake up my work and be like, hey, I'm leaving, and then be like, oh, hey, for some reason such and such didn't go through, you don't have the job. So now I gotta go back and tell my boss, like, hey, I'm not quitting, actually. You know what I mean? So I just want to be sure before I tell them, but I'm up and out of there, and I'm making $3.80 more than I do now an hour at my start. Okay, and that's gonna go up every 6 months, or 3 to 6 months. Well, 3 months after, I think, the 90 days, which is 3 months, I get a pay raise, and then at my year mark, I'll get a pay that's like a constant. And since I pretty much got the job, I can tell you I am going to work for Amazon. Yes, that's right. I was so against this in the beginning when they first started building hubs around here. But you know what? After all this job hunting, they're paying the most in the area. You get right in the door. This is like the easiest interview process I've ever had in my life. And we had a mouth swab drug test, okay? The last drug test I did for the job I have now was a hair test. And I've done pee ones, but I've never done like a mouth one. I felt like really high tech. That's crazy. But anyway, so I have to start at the bottom and work my way up, but even at the bottom is better than what I am now. They have so much growth in this company. Like, if I move anywhere, I can just go to their closest Amazon facility and get a job there, because I already work for Amazon. So I can just be like, hey, Amazon, I want to move to such and such state. Do you have any job openings in this state? And they'll either be like yes or no, and they'll help you. So I can literally go anywhere worldwide. They're not just here in the United States. So I think that's great. Plus, on my starting date, like the first day I start work, boom, insurance. Only one around here to do that. Like, I had to wait 90 days to get insurance, and I was so scared about that with all my health stuff. Like, oh my God, I'm going to have to wait 90 days to get insurance back. No, Like, I'm not losing my insurance at all. When I put my 2 weeks in and I leave my job and my medical insurance ends there on day one when I start at Amazon, boom, insurance. You know, so that's awesome. And the coolest part, Amazon requires you to wear, you know, you can really dress any way you want, but they do require you to have certain things on your feet. And the coolest part of all, and I've never had a job do this, they bought me I think it comes out to $115 with the tax, like Skechers, like name, we could pick from like New Balance, all different kinds, like name brand shit. I picked, I think it was the Skechers one, I'm not sure, I don't remember, but they bought me a pair of shoes, and it's going to be here long before my first day, so they're here before they're obviously shipped by Amazon. They pay for it. I didn't pay nothing. I didn't even start work for them yet, and they bought me something so that I would start, you know, and they took my picture from my badge so that everything will be all ready when I start. And like, I feel like they have constant turnaround, but I think that it's mostly because people start in this entry level and they move to different departments. There's so many different departments, and that's why I'm gonna move up the ladder. You know what I mean? This, where I'm entering isn't where I'm staying. There's a whole year planned for me. I'm super excited, but I do have to go 90 days, you know, before I can get that pay bump. You know what I mean? So 90 days isn't really that long. It's only 3 months, and if anything, after all this shit, I've been the new kid a million times in my life. I already met people that are starting on the same day as me in line. So, you know, I'm excited. I was really happy because the girl behind me, she's actually graduating high school in like 2 weeks. And it was her birthday 2 days ago. And I was like, oh my God, happy birthday. Oh my God, you're graduating high school. That's so exciting. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so old. Am I too old for this job? But then, you know, the person in front of me was like 28. You know, there's a couple people behind me, she was like 60. I feel like it's like every age because of the money and the opportunity here. They literally will hire anyone as long as you pass the drug test. You know what I mean? So, and the background check. So they give you an opportunity. They're paying the best around. You get insurances on day one. And they promote the 4-day work week. Like, no matter what shift I have for Amazon, unless I might have mandatory overtime for like their Amazon deal days, or like for the holidays I might have to work a 5th day, which I'll have to give up my Thursdays and only have Friday, Saturday off, but that's only during the holiday season and Prime Day. You know what I mean? It's not all year unless they get backlogged in our area. But yeah, I promote the 4-day work week too. 4 days work, 3 days off. I think that's a fair trade, and I think people really genuinely have better families and better lives. And I don't need to work 2 jobs at this job. Like, this is my main job. Like, awesome. And I feel like I'm gonna meet a lot of people constantly. If they do have a lot of turnaround, I'm okay with that. Like, if I train a new face, you know, it's same shit, different story, different job. Like, I'm seeing faces come and go at this job, and I'm gonna be another one coming and going. I think I lasted a lot longer than majority of the people. Like, I've seen, since I started at Syracuse Label, I've seen so many people come and go, and I've seen so many people that had been there long before me go too. And you know, people who I've talked to there who've been there almost as long as I've been alive are about to, you know, walk out. It's getting rough there, and there's a lot of issues, and I'm abandoning ship because I don't want to sink with it. I'm very young. I don't want to give years of my life to a company that I don't feel has my back or is going to... I've been labeled wrong, and I didn't give myself this label. They gave me this label. And I can't seem to shake this label that they gave me off, even if I do good. And better than I did the day before. And better than it's just never going to be enough. I have that label. And it all came from haters. Like, and I can only be responsible for how I act in this place. It took me out of myself, and there are some days that I'm not really proud for falling into their trap and giving into it, and I just gotta take that into this next job and be better, and I'm not gonna put up with any of the crap that I put up with here. I'm just gonna, I do want to make friends, but I'm gonna be better at who I make friends with. And I don't feel like there's that unhealthy competition in this kind of job, because there's just so much room for everybody to grow. If we all wanted to grow at once, we could all grow at once. This company is massive. So it's like, we're never going to run out of work. We're never going to run out of jobs. So, amen to that. I'm happy. And more money. I just needed to straighten my life out in the work department. Is this my career long term? I don't think so. Like, I feel like I'm back at 18 again. Not really knowing for sure what I want to do with the rest of my life as far as work. That's okay. And I feel like my life has shook up a lot. I do know that I'm going to continue on with tarot. The summer is probably going to be a little sporadic. I do have a lot going on as far as changing jobs, and I do want to travel a little bit and, spend a little bit more time with my family, because leaving my ex, I spent years away from my family. All the time and energy was mostly put into his family for holidays and a majority of the year, and I'm not blaming him for that, because I am responsible for that. I should have stepped up more. So it's really important to me to be present at everyone's birthdays, everyone's events, and really be present and be about family, my side. But I also I spent so many summers just with somebody who just wasn't an outdoor person, didn't really like being out in nature, wasn't a hiker, wasn't willing to go out, and I just missed being in the woods, and I just missed being active. So I'm really making it a point to spend more time outside. So instead of getting out of work and coming home to film, I'm going out walking. I'm going, I'm especially in these last 2 weeks with me being on a day shift before I go back to working overnights. I'm really going to bask up the sunlight, and on my days off, I'm probably going to be recording more at night so that I can get that summer sun. We don't get much sun around here in general, so I feel like I gotta shove it in while it's here. Once the winter months come, I will have way more time. There is nothing to do around here except be inside in the winter, so I will definitely still do readings. I'm going to do these books. I am going to do some readings this week. Not sure which ones. I'm not really in, I was drawing and pre-picking the topics. I just don't want to do that anymore for right now. I'm not saying I'm never going to do pick-a-pause again, because I will, but I just want things to be organic for right now. I did get a diagnosis with all my health stuff, because I was having some health scares. I was getting dizzy spells and, like anxiety attacks and weird heart palpitations and not having an appetite and going up and down and up and down and up and down and weight in crazy ways. My glands were swollen. Anyway, my white blood cell count was massive, and so they were testing me for everything, from like low blood sugar, diabetes, cancer, my kidneys are bad, all kinds of stuff. And I was very, very scared, and I kept it to myself. I didn't tell anyone. And last week, it really pushed up on me when I was getting tested for the bone cancer. That scared the fuck out of me. Like, don't get it twisted. I never thought that I had bone cancer, but the fact that they added that to the list of things to test me for, because I kept getting weird, like really, really sharp muscle pains, and they would isolate to either my arms or legs, and they would be in weird places, and it was like one day this arm would be attacked, and the next day I couldn't move the lower part, and it was like weird. So they thought maybe something was going on with that or my nervous system. Bottom line is, I know I explained that I had an eating disorder before. It was a long time ago. I stopped eating and wouldn't eat anything. That's anorexic. That's when you stop eating and you just don't eat. And then, that didn't last very long because I am someone who does like food. So I switched from, enjoys the taste of food. Everybody enjoys food. I switched to becoming from anorexic to bulimic, which means I would eat because I didn't care for the pains, and I kept passing out and I couldn't really hide it. So I would eat just enough to function, but I would throw it up because then you would eat and then, oh my god, I just put all those calories, that's going to be a fat roll. Your mind's going crazy, and then you just purge it out. Or sometimes it was more about stress, and this is where the cutting went into it, cutting, especially on my thighs. I used to cut here, but I didn't do it deep enough to scar. I do have some scars on my thighs, but I was never, I was smart. I just did enough so that it would heal and go away. I didn't want to mark my body forever. But just the act of doing it was that was the only way to release anxiety for me, and I know that doesn't make sense. How does cutting yourself release anxiety? And I don't know. I can't even explain it. I think it's maybe have something to focus on, and the pain you're feeling in a different area and not in here. Because anxiety does come from depression too. Anyway, let's not break down. We're getting off topic. Anyway, so self-mutilation is a part of my eating disorder. So, when I was in fighting, I went from cutting myself to slow punching my leg until I would literally get dead leg. I think that's a little bit OCD too. Because obsessive compulsive disorder can lead to self-mutilation too. Basically, my parents make kids who have mental issues. My sister has that disease where you pick your scabs. I constantly picks her scabs. She has scars from head to toe. She doesn't let certain scars or certain sores heal. That's how she relieves her stress. She just, and we've all told her whole life, stop picking your scabs, stop. She knows. She's 100% knows about it. She can't stop. And she struggles with it. I'm not making fun of her at all. And she's gotten better now that she's older, but when she was younger, we all talk about it. She knows she has it. There's a word for it. I had it too, but not for I used to pull my arm hair out. I don't know why I would do that. I outgrew it, which I read up on it, and mostly the hair pullers do outgrow it, but it is part of depression. I'm studying why. I want to understand my brains. By understanding my brains, I can help someone else, and I can have a better quality of life by understanding how my brains work. And most of my part of my stuff, I really have anxiety and I have eating disorders. That's my two ones that just eat my brains apart. My sister, I said her scab stuff, but she has learning disabilities too and has a hard time retaining information. I think we all have something. I definitely think there's some people who have bipolar, and I don't say that in an offensive way. I think that's a real thing in our family. And there's a couple people diagnosed with it, and I'm not gonna say that until they say it for themselves, but that runs in our family too. We gotta come out of this phase of speaking about our mental health and our history of mental health. It is a strike against us, because it's not. You know, how are you ever supposed to grow and learn and adapt as a world and as people and as a family if you don't acknowledge what's going on? We're just going to continue to have suicides. We're going to continue to have cutters. We're going to continue to have eating disorders. Anyway, we're getting off tangent again. Another part of my eating disorder. I will find a way not to talk about it. I'm very good at that. I will find a way to hide it from you too. I'm very good at that. But I took all the stuff that I had overcome, right? I eat and I don't throw out my food now. Clearly. I'm still a little bit of a chubbo. It's alright. I think I'm just gonna be chubby now. Like, I just can't help it. Like, I don't consider myself obese. I'm not, by the chart. But I don't consider myself skinny either. Does that make sense? I'm like middle. A little bit pudgy. A little bit pudgy. Like, I have arm fat. It's okay. I got a roll. I got 2 rolls, actually. That's not a lie. The top roll sits a little bit on the bottom roll a little bit. I don't care. Like, sorry. I'm 37. And it's really hard with PCOS. I want my whole body back. Like, I don't get it. I work so hard. I gained 3 pounds last week because I couldn't work out because I was malnourished, which I'm getting into my eating disorder. I turned working out into an eating disorder. So now I'm scared to work out and like get into a regimen because my OCD eating disorder brain took workout to the extreme, and it took me on a ride for about 2 months, and I didn't even realize I was doing it, and it scared me so much when I realized what I was doing. Like, oh my god, I was just crazy. I was just being crazy, and I didn't even know it. Oh no. I'm a little scared of becoming the beautiful mind. Like, I don't want that to ever happen to me. You know, that was a beautiful mind, right? Yeah, he was a genius, and I don't want to lose my marbles, but, like, bottom line, I was counting every goddamn calorie. Like, even a glass of water, I was chalking up to 20 calories. A glass of water is not 20 calories. So anyway, I was like, I'm taking in all these calories a minute, when really I'm not taking in all these calories. My brain is just adding numbers to make me feel like shit. So then I'm like, okay, so I ate all these calories. Now I need to work out. I need to work out a little bit more because I have PCOS. And if I gotta work 3 times harder than every woman, well, I'm gonna burn 3 times as many calories today as I planned. Bad idea. Oh, not smart. See, your body is a machine, and when you work out and work out and work out and work out, but nothing in and nothing in and nothing in, your body is just going to take whatever you put in there and hold on to it for dear life. So you can work out, you're going to work yourself to death, and your fat roll is going nowhere. Hence why I gained 3 pounds. See, my old body with my eating disorder, you know, I would have just lost like 15 pounds like that by not eating enough. You know, would have just shed right off me. I would have met my goal weight, and I would have went on to be normal again, at least in my brains. Let's not pretend that never would have happened. That's my disease lying to me again. But you know what I mean. Recognize your triggers. I'm like, we can't even work out now. So now I'm just going to be fat. I don't know what to do because this eating disorder just ruins everything. How do I'm scared because if I get on a workout regimen, I'm going to start counting calories again. If I start counting calories again, I'm going to stop putting things in my mouth. And I don't want to do that. So I'm just like, what do I do? And nobody talks about this in the support group. They talk about how they eat 25 cupcakes and then go throw it up. Or how they just walk through the store and look at food but don't eat things. And I can totally relate to both of those things. But before this happened, I could not relate to people overworking out. I'm like, there's no such thing as overworking out. You can't work yourself into exhaustion. Yes, you can. Yeah, You can put yourself right on the good old deathbed. Yep. Ran my machine right into the ground. My body, my muscles were aching because my body was fatigued to the point of overexhaustion, mentally and physically. So yes, you get muscle aches, you get nerve aches just from being exhausted. On top of it, I was severely dehydrated, even though I was pumping the water. I just did not know that bottled water puts salt in it. So I was drinking all this salty water. Should have just drank it out of the tap. You know? Fuck. I was just trying to finish up all these bottles. I hate wasted shit. And I had all these bottled water, but I'm not going to name the company because I don't want to get sued, but I feel like they put like mad salt in there. They just kept drinking them and I was thirsty as fuck. I'm like, how did I just chug a bottle of water and I'm so fucking thirsty? Salt. They put salt in it and they almost killed me with their salt. So be careful if you are a dieter out there and you're only pumping the water. You can actually fuck yourself up with just drinking bottled water. Get that British shit. It ain't a joke. Save the environment too. There's your commercial right there. Stop talking about how the bottles wind up in the water and start talking about how the salt in the bottled water makes you spend more money, and maybe people will stop buying bottled water because, let's face it, they don't like spending money. They don't really give a shit if the bottle gets dumped in the water when they're done. Hit them in the kisser. Save the planet. I would be a great marketer. No, I wouldn't. I'm like, no, just tell them the truth. This product is shit. Our product is great. Oh my god. I should have did that backwards. Now they're going to say I'm racist. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. This product is wonderful. This product is shit. Now it's both ways. You can't hate me. Mic drop on cancer culture. That's true equality. They're both shit and they're both great. I rest my case. I need sleep. And dinner. So anyway, I got a new job and I am continuing to work on my health. I also was getting bad juju sent my way by certain people that I will not mention. But yes, I did participate in an exercising shit sent to me, and I'm going to make sure before I even do any readings that they can't ever come back through this channel again. They can watch, they can wish ill on me all they want, but it ain't gonna stick to me and it ain't gonna stick to nobody else. So a lot of the reasons why I am avoiding you is because I got people who are yucky. However, okay, I don't want to get too much into it because I don't want to freak anybody out, and I'm becoming more private with my spirituality because of this reason. End of day, somebody has, they want me to die because somebody that they likes me. Again, that has nothing to do with me, but it's my head because of it. So instead of being a rational human being, they go to the dark arts, and they're not very good on their own, but they are able to pay people. They have a lot of money, they have a lot of connections, and they have a lot of tools that I couldn't even get my hands on if I wanted to, who is more gifted than them. So they almost killed me a few times, I'm not gonna lie. And I think it's more related towards a twin flame thing. Again, I have no idea who my twin flame is, but this person is attached to them. I'm assuming it would be their karmic partner. I don't get told everything, but I get told enough to protect myself. Like that day I woke up and I couldn't. You don't just wake up and you can't hear and see, okay? That, I know medically it was all attached to my tooth, but that just doesn't fucking happen. Okay? It's black magic. That was the first one. Something happened with my car. With a certain angel on my shoulder. You really fucking think a car is gonna work? No, dumbass. Anyway, and the third one was this whole shit. But I think they did, because you have to think about dark magic and not just, like, physical things. They can mess with your vibration, and if they know you have some kind of disorder, which I've been adamantly talking about my whole life about eating disorders, so they would know that was something I would struggle with, and they could pay somebody to affect that. And I feel like at first when I was thinking about it, I'm like, am I just like trying to pass responsibility off? Like, am I passing the buck off? Is this really another death attempt? And I went to the people who are teaching me to be a shaman, and they confirmed it. So, yeah. They said that I should always listen to my instincts. So the two instincts, the fact that I was checking myself to see if my disorder was affecting my brains, should have been my first clue that somebody else was affecting my brains, because that means your mind is healed, or at least a healthy thinking mind is being affected. When I'm really bad into the eating disorder, I don't understand logic. I don't look at things that way. I'm too deep in it. That's why it took me so long to fucking see it. You know what I mean? Like, if anybody walked in and saw that shit on the wall, I'd be like, what the fuck is this? You ate 9,000 calories for lunch? Are you sure you did? Are you sure you ate 9,000 calories? I mean, I didn't really write 9,000, but, you know, the numbers were just like, what are you eating? I tell them what I ate, and they're like, that's like maybe 250 calories. You got like 4,000 on here. Like, I know, but I gotta work it off because that's what I ate. But no, you didn't eat that. Did you hear me? You did not eat that much. But I'm like, yes, I did. No, you didn't. Yes, I did. That's what eating disorder rates. That tricks you. And it can even, like, sometimes when I was bad, I'm like, I ate lunch. Yes, I did. Did I? No, I didn't eat lunch. My body tricked me into thinking I already ate because they didn't want me to eat. But not your body, I mean your eating disorder. So you gotta check yourself. Anyway, this went into a mental illness PSA, and I didn't even mean it to. I'm healing. I really have to focus on this. I'm really scared. Because health and fitness is important to me. And even if I am going to be a little bit more chubbier now, I'm still going to be active. I have a mom bod. I'm not even a mom. This is bullshit. Like, if I have the bod, can I, you know, at least have a reason for the bod? And so I can sit next to me like, yeah. I have this role, South, but you know what? I have this role because this cute face is right next to me. Now I just look at myself like, fatty. I gotta stop doing that. I do that. Stop hiding behind humor. South? I do that for everything. I pick out the fuck out of myself. Make a whole comedy skit. But really inside I'm crying, but I'm like, putting on a show for you. But I'm crying. That's a comedian for you. That's 99.9% of every comedian you see on the stage. And here, they're like, tormented artists. Oh, I'm angrier. Oh my god. They're laughing at me and all I want to do is cry. But I gotta put on a show though. Hashtag truth. Most comedians struggle with mental illness. I am one too. It's alright, we can be loony together. Fuck it. Deuces, everyone. I've talked long enough. I need to make dinner. I don't even know what to make. Can I just, like, marry a chef, future self? No. Chefs make weird food. I'm like, why? Where would you even buy that? What is that even called? What is that? I'm such a kid about food. Like, no, plain. It's butter. Thank you. Maybe that's why I'm so fat. I eat chicken tenders like kids too. Not like from fast food. Like, I put them in my air fryer. And then I put them on a little bit of toasted bread and a piece of cheese, and I make a chicken tender sandwich. Still do that. It is good. I love you all. I'm really sorry I'm annoying with these readings and these chats. I will come back. We'll come back strong. I'm just moving my life around. I feel like I've been doing that the whole time on the YouTube channel, but let this be the last one, please. And then after that, the last happy update you will get from me is like, hey, I found my twin flame, guys. Whenever that's gonna happen. When I'm 85. I don't really care anymore. Like, I used to be upset. I'm like, oh my god, I'm 37. My baby clock is ticking. Now I'm like, tick away, motherfucker. Tick, 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 tick. Like, I don't care. If I have a kid, like, I think I'll be sad, though, if I'm old. And I don't even have, like, an adopted kid. I would be sad. Because, you know, what are you going to do when you're old? Just sit in the nursing home and like, everyone I know will be dead? Like my mom, my dad, my sibling, well, maybe my little sisters. They're 10 and 12 years younger than me. Maybe I'll still have them and my nieces and nephews. Like, that's what I think about. Like, who am I going to spend the old years with? When there ain't nothing to do in a day but spend time with people. Who am I going to spend time with? I'm just going to be the animal lady. Fucking Snow White. I love you all. See you soon, I promise. Hang in there. Anybody want a cat? They're 4 weeks in. We got 4 weeks to go, and then they can be adopted out. But yeah, if you want to come and get a cat. I mean, I can't afford your airfare, but if I could, I would. I don't want to ship a kitty in the mail. I feel like that's evil. Like, I heard about people, like, ordering, like, animals through the mail. I'm like, what? They're like, yeah, it comes in the box with holes, like, right to my door. Ew. Those poor animals. What a scary fucking experience. Am I right? I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Okay, I'm going now. Bye.